Hydroshoppe Director Abdul Hamid Sheikh Abdul Razak Sheikh has been charged for offering bribes to then Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Annuar Musa in exchange for expediting the takeover of the concession of KL Tower. Abdul Hamid is accused of offering 500,000 ringgit a year for 15 years for Anwar's benefit via Wan Datuk Tan Ser Leh. He pleaded not guilty to the charge under Section 16BB of the MACC Act, which carries the penalty of up to 20 years in jail and a fine of not less than 5 times the sum of the gratification given, or a maximum fine of 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. He was slapped with 50,000 ringgit bail and one surety, and also ordered to surrender his passport to the court. The judge then set June 2nd for case mention. At a separate hearing, Hydroshoppe was charged with the same offence as a commercial organisation. Abdul Hamid claimed trial on behalf of the company. The court then set bail at 50,000 ringgit with one surety. Muhammad Faisal Hamzah, the son of opposition leader Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainudin, was charged with 9 counts of violations in relation to the cooking oil subsidy. Faisal was charged alongside Azizul Abdul Halim, both being directors of wholesale cooking oil licence holder Rimba Merpati, with allegedly providing false information by producing fake invoices on the purported sale of the commodity to 2 local retail companies, in violation of Section 8(4) of the Control of Supplies Act 1961. Cooking oil is a control item under the Act. The invoices were deemed fake following a raid conducted on the company's premises last August 11th and 12th. The duo was also jointly charged with possessing more than the limited amount of 50 metric tons of cooking oil on Rimba Merpati's premises in Senawang, breaching Regulation 9(1) of the Control of Supplies Regulations 1974. The charges in question were made separately against Rimba Merpati, with Faisal and Azizul jointly charged as 2 directors of the company as well as individually as a director. They claim trial to all the charges. Should the company be found guilty of the said offences, it is liable to a maximum fine of 2 million ringgit for the first offence, or a 5 million ringgit fine for the second or subsequent offences. Meanwhile, the duo as joint directors of the company and separately as an individual company director are liable to a fine of 1 million ringgit, or a maximum 3 years in jail for each charge for the first offence, or a 3 million ringgit fine or 5 years in jail for subsequent offences. Sessions Court Judge Masni Nawi fixed bail at 25,000 ringgit each for Azizul and Faisal and 30,000 ringgit for Rimba Merpati. He fixed June 9th for mention. Datuk Nik Airina Nik Jaffar, Director of Special Projects and Corporate Finance at UEM Group, has been appointed as the new Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of PLUS Malaysia, sources told The Edge. Formerly the COO of PLUS Expressways, Nik Airina is also MD of UEM Builders and has almost 30 years of experience in transport infrastructure planning, development and implementation, as well as operations and maintenance. She has been involved in the development and management of various projects, including the North-South Expressway, North-South Expressway Central Link, Cikopo Palimanan Toll Road in Indonesia, Manila Cavite Expressway in the Philippines, as well as the Pan-Borneo Sabah project. Currently, she also sits on the board of CIDB Malaysia, University Technical Malaysia Melaka, and several other subsidiaries within the UEM Group, including ProHawk, UEM Suria, Borneo Highway PDP and PLUS Expressways International. The MD and CEO post at PLUS Malaysia has been vacant for some 3 months following the departure of Dato' Azman Ismail at the end of December last year when his term expired. The feud pertaining to WhatsApp messages between the key witnesses in Guan Eng's undersea tunnel graft trial ended today, with the KL Sessions Court deciding to grant the defence the much contested forensic report. Lim's lawyers had been attempting for 7 months to get this report containing WhatsApp messages between businessman G. Ganaraja and Consortium Zenith Construction Director Datuk Zarul Ahmad Muhammad Zulkifli. Sessions Court Judge Azura Alwi said the defence had successfully crossed the application's threshold to showcase the evidence's necessity and desirability and ordered the prosecution to hand over the report within 2 weeks. In delivering the decision, Azura said the court was satisfied with the defence's submission that 2 different courts, the KL Sessions Court and the Shah Alam Sessions Court, heard 2 different versions of testimonies as to who received the 2 million ringgit cash and the purpose of the payment. The trial has been fixed for mention on May 10th. The pertinence of the WhatsApp messages revolves around the interpretation of Big Boss and who received the 2 million ringgit Zarul and Ganaraja discussed in their exchanges. Zarul previously testified that the pair utilised the term Big Boss to refer to Lim, but lead defence counsel Gobind Singh Deo asserted that the forensic report used in Ganaraja's trial will showcase that Big Boss used in the WhatsApp messages equated to the Prime Minister at the time, Datuk Sri Najib Razak. CGS-CIMB research said domestic electricity users with high volume usage may be the next target for higher tariffs, following upward adjustments for large corporations in January. In view of coal and gas prices peaking in late 2022, CGS-CIMB research economist Nazmi Idros estimated Putrajaya's subsidy bill for the higher power rates will balloon to 6.8 billion ringgit in 2023 from an estimated 6 billion ringgit in 2022. In an attempt at subsidy rationalisation, the government started off by targeting medium and high voltage commercial and industrial users by removing the subsidies, resulting in a higher tariff surcharge of 20 cent per kilowatt hour starting January from 3.7 cent per kilowatt hour previously. By Putrajaya's calculations, the actual amount that should be applied to domestic consumers given the prevailing input costs is a 27 cent per kilowatt hour surcharge, although they still enjoy a 2 cent per kilowatt hour discount until the first half of 2023. Nazmi noted that 13.1% of the subsidy is enjoyed by domestic high-volume customers, even though they account for just 9% of the total number of users, and that together with non-SME segments, these users take up over 56% of the total subsidies given by the government, despite having a greater ability to absorb the cost increases themselves. As such, the economist thinks the next step for the government is to target high-volume domestic users and expects an announcement to be made as early as late June.